Hi YouTube, it's Nicole Bird again with another video. Sorry again. Part of grief. However, I did wash my hair today and this is what has happened to it. So sorry about that. So anyways, I was making this video today because I want to talk about intake court. So for those of you who have not tuned in, my son was killed on October 5th of this year in a car accident. He was the passenger. His friend was the driver. They were racing another car, I guess. His friend survived. My son died. And I found out yesterday in court that another person was injured. So, anyways, fast forward to now. We had intake court yesterday. I don't exactly know what intake court is. I feel bad. I was going to look that up to let you guys know. But I think what happened was that he was in the hospital, and I believe he was under protective custody. So he was in the hospital under protective custody until he got to the point where he could be released. Once he was released into their custody. So they took him immediately to the Milwaukee County Jail. This young man who was the driver was a friend of my son's. They had played in a AAU basketball league together. They were friends. I knew him. I will be honest, I didn't want Denari hanging out with him just because of his rap sheet. And I made that clear to my child. But if anybody who has adult children, my son was 20 when he died, you really can't tell them anything. You can try all you want, but you can't tell them anything. So he had a rather extensive rap sheet with drugs and guns and things like that. So anyways, we had intake court yesterday. And I was under the impression that because of the fact that he was out due to the fact that he jumped bail. So what happened was he had several cases pending. Drug cases, gun cases. And he was out, but he was out and he jumped bail, meaning that I guess he was out and he didn't show up to court. So, and because of that, my son is dead. Anyways, I'm sorry, we had court yesterday. It was a Zoom court because I guess they're still doing things due to COVID. I'm not sure. So it was a Zoom court. I watched it on Zoom. My stepdaughters watched it. I watched it, his cousins. We all watched it. I think for me, a couple of different feelings come up. And I do these videos, obviously, not just for parents for parents that have lost their children, but for anyone who's lost a loved one in any type of, violent situation or something like that. And really also to bring awareness again to Milwaukee and our reckless driving that we have here. It's horrible, but even more so that now it's become more than reckless driving, because as I looked at this gentleman's rap sheet on CCAPS, which is a public record, he had been getting out for very serious felonies with minimal bail, $500 bail, $1,000 bail. I think the most bail he ever had was $3,000 for bail, which he posted right away and got out and continued to commit more felonies. Even leading up to the felonies he has now, which is reckless homicide, some other things too, stemming from, actually resulting from my son's death. So, anyways, so more so than just the reckless driving, but I don't think the problem also stems in the fact that where is our justice system to protect us as the citizens from people like this? Why are people being able to get minimal bail, to the point where they're out here and endangering the lives of other people? And being able to commit more and more crimes. I guess I am confused about this. So I think for myself and my daughters, that was really blown us, that he was able to do these things. So anyways, they were setting bail, which I couldn't understand why we were setting bail. First off, he committed a murder while out on bail, but actually wasn't really out on bail because he actually didn't come to court, so he forfeited his bail. So I'm like, so we're setting bail. His attorney asked for $5,000. Then happens to mention that his mother happens to have $5,000. I'm like, so he's going to get out. That's my worst fear, right? Then his attorney was like, but we'd be willing to do $15,000. We think that's reasonable. $15,000 for my son's life? No. Then the state, the district attorney, asked for $50,000. Again, this is the state of Wisconsin. So I think I'm thinking to myself, did you talk to us? I mean, I thought that he was definitely a candidate for no bail at all. Based on the 3 or 4 felony bail jumpings that he had. Just a thought. So they settled upon $50,000. You know, for him to be my son's friend, whatever, they knew each other, whatever they were. You know, there was not one tear shed by this boy. He started and began to cry a tad bit when he heard the $50,000. Other than that, there was no emotion, no nothing. And I think also for my kids and my family and us, we also were like, the fact that he got to, at the end of court, he got to get up and walk away. He had a broken arm. He said he has short-term memory loss and some other broken bones. But to see him get up and walk away and to know that my child will never have the opportunity to get up and walk away, for me was unbearable. It was unbearable. I will never see my baby again. Whether it's behind, and by all means, none of us want to see our kids behind bars. Whether it's behind bars or anything, I will never be able to see my child again. So, right now, his dad has a really good idea, and I think that we definitely should do it, where we should write letters to these judges and write letters to the district attorney, letting them know that, oh, another thing before that, I'm so sorry. What was also really hard was them saying it resulted in the death, but they didn't say my son's name. And my baby has a name. He's not just a man or someone that died in this accident. His name is Denari Type here. And he needs to remember that. The world needs to remember that. He had a name. He was my son. He is my son. I am his mother. He wasn't just a John Doe. He came in as a John Doe because he didn't have an ID on him. But he was a person. He was my baby. He lived here with me. He was my life. He was my world, my why. So, with that being said, we have to do something. If you live in the state of Wisconsin, if you have been a victim of, the court system's failing, right? When we think about The Brooks case that happened in Waukesha here in Wisconsin. That man had also been out on bail or had jumped bail, and he was able to go and murder 6 people and injure 64, I believe, if not more than that, people at the parade. So our system is failing us. Our court system is failing us. We've got to do something. Someone's got to listen to us. Someone has to pay. I'm not talking about money, but something has to happen. This cannot happen anymore. These are, and these are just 2. Obviously, I don't know any of any more, but there are probably several victims sitting around, and when I say victims, I'm not just talking about the people that were killed, but the families. There are several of us sitting around like, what happened? How was this even possible to happen? Well, it happened because they let them bail out and let them at low bails, if that, and didn't monitor them, which you can't. So we have to do something. So I'm asking for all of us, if you are in the state of Wisconsin, we have got to write someone, I don't know who, whether it be our alder person, our senator, or I don't know, it has to be someone. Because all those people that lost their lives in Waukesha, that was ridiculous and unnecessary and very avoidable. My son's death was avoidable. So I'm asking all of us to do something about it. We've got to, I don't know what we can do, guys. Maybe I'll have another video after I talk to some legal people, see what we can possibly do. But something's got to happen. But again, I just want to kind of tell you all what happened at intake court. My daughter recorded it. Hard to watch. It was hard to be there and not be able to say anything. But he does have another court date, and that'll be the preliminary court hearing, which will be next week. So I'll definitely do a video next week to kind of let you guys know what that's about. And maybe this time I'll actually have the definition of it, because I don't know it. But again, long live Denari, my shining star. I love him so very much. Please keep your family safe. Keep your children safe. I don't know what that looks like, guys. I thought I knew. But yeah, let's take action. We have to do something. We've got to do something. So I'm going to start by writing some letters. Not sure how much this is going to help, but I got to do something, right? I can't just sit here and cry and sulk about my baby. He can't die in vain. So thank you all for watching, and love you guys. Bye.